Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Andrew and Kelly here. Today to regale you with tales of movies that don't need prequels.
Right.
How's that for an intro?
So good.
So good.
So good.
I'll go first.
Well, we should let them kind of get,
Ease them in?
like an old man into a bath. Like, remember when we did the unnecessary sequels?
Right.
Now we're doing unnecessary prequels.
Exactly.
Now they're in the
exercise of futility.
If ever there was one.
If ever there was one that Hollywood will no doubt glom onto and make a reality.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I know that, Harvey is just waiting for what Andrew and Kelly have to say.
Well, Harvey and, who's the other Weinstein? Bob? Is it Harvey and Bob? Mo, Curly, and Shemp. Yeah, the Weinsteins, they love these ideas,
Bob.
And it is Bob, I'm pretty sure. They love these ideas, and they buy them, and they nurture them, and they coddle them, and they put them on a shelf, so no one else can ever have them and play with them. No one plays with Harvey and Bob's toys. Except Quentin Tarantino. Okay, so I have a suggestion of a movie that is in desperate need of a completely unnecessary prequel. Because just because it's unnecessary doesn't mean it wouldn't be fun.
Exactly. Okay, yes.
Cujo.
That's the dog in the Stephen King.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Basically what happened, it's a siege movie. A woman and her son get trapped in a car.
Oh, yes.
And there's
Ali Sheedy.
No, that's Man's Best Friend, the genetically enhanced dog, Lance Henriksen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is Dee Wallace, and she gets trapped in a car with her son in a hot day, and she's out in the middle of nowhere where her car won't move. Their cell phones weren't invented yet, and Cujo, the big Saint Bernard, I think, has rabies and is like, bark, bark, I bite you, but in a much more menacing way. So Cujo is a happy, fluffy, wonderful Saint Bernard who gets bit in the nose by a rabid bat, goes rabid, eats people
by
a bat, of all things.
Okay.
Not a woodchuck, but a bat. And menaces Dee Wallace throughout the entire movie.
And her son.
And her son. But he's like suffering from heat exhaustion, so he's kind of just like for the entire movie, so we don't really care.
Okay.
And then she beats him to death with a baseball bat.
The dog, not the son.
The dog, correct.
Get some water in here, goddammit!
So prequel. What would you do for a prequel? Well, I guess you could make it like an Old Yeller story, just without the unhappy ending. It's just about this happy, wonderful dog that everybody loves. It's a feel-good story that's a prequel to a horror movie.
Oh my gosh.
That's
funny, actually.
Or you could do the thing that Hollywood would almost certainly do and explore the history of this dog's family. And see, because this dog has a lineage that is susceptible to Cujo's grandpappy, Larry. He was bitten in the nose by a rabid woodchuck. So,
and he started
exactly. It runs in the family. Or I guess you could do the story of the bat. How did the bat get rabies?
Yes, he was genetically what is that word?
Predisposed.
Predisposed to be susceptible to bat bites.
See, maybe the bat was an early genetic experiment by Lance Henriksen before he made the dog in
Man's Best Friend.
Man's Best Friend. Boom. We could have the rabid dog cinematic universe here with all the movies crossing over, and then you could get Dee Wallace and Ali Sheedy in the same movie together fighting mutant dogs that are trying to they're trying to eat their children.
I think a little mutation would have made Beethoven even better.
Ooh. A Beethoven and Cujo crossover. That's what we need.
I like it.
Even though Cujo's kind of dead.
Right, he was beaten with a baseball bat.
So what would they call the prequel to Cujo? Would it be Cujo Senior?
Cujosephine.
Cujosephine.
The mother.
There you go. Cujosephine. I like that. Cujosephine. Cujo's mama.
Cujo's mama.
That actually might be where you go for the sequel. Josephine, you just pissed off the wrong dog's mama.
She's like, it's like in Bolt when he does the little Bolt stance. That's Cujo's mama.
All right.
Okay. So, my first... I'm going to save the best for last.
Yes.
I have something on my tongue. Okay, so my first...
Spittle?
Probably my hair.
Oh, okay.
It gets places. Prequel is to Demolition Man. Ooh. There's a lot to go on there, because you have Wesley Snipes, who's the criminal, who comes back, and they're like, well, let's wake up Sylvester Stallone, who's the only man who can fight him. And then Sylvester Stallone is like in this new world where everything is different. And I want to know what the damn shells do. So I want a prequel to let me know.
How do those damn 3 seashells work?
How do the seashells work?
What's the history behind them? What iterations did they go through before they ended up at 3 seashells as the ultimate way to wipe your backside, to cleanse your buns of sticky poos?
I wanna know how Taco Bell won the franchise wars.
Yes. There are so many unexplained things in that movie that we need to know.
We need to know. And so when I was thinking of our things, I thought to myself, what are things in movies that I just really want to know the backstory of? And if those 3 seashells didn't, like, the immediate thing, I'm like, oh, crap. If we did a prequel, then we could see all of the...
Maybe the 3 seashells was the linchpin on which society turning to this complete... pacifistic utopia.
Well, yeah, because even personal relationships, romantical personal relationships are done with a little...
with the VR helmets?
Yeah. Thing. So, those people are clean. Like, sterile.
I bet their urine has absolutely no color.
Oh, it's white. Like, maybe that's the point. They're like, why do we need toilet paper anymore?
Don't need to flush. It doesn't look like there's anything in the bowl. We just wait till it's full and then we flush.
Technically, toilets, if you fill them far enough, they flush on their own. That's the whole point of the flush. Is it filling... Like, so if you had a bucket of water and you poured it into a toilet bowl, it will flush.
Huh. Unless
you can try that at home. I'm just letting you know. Go right ahead. Don't even try that at home. Get a bucket of water. Pour it into your toilet. It flushes.
Okay. Neat.
There you go.
The wonders of science! Science! Okay. I have another horror movie. I actually made a list of probably a dozen different movies, and a lot of them were horror movies, because it's just what I love. It's like, let's see the backstory of these people, because although, the killer dying, it doesn't usually stop movies from having sequels.
What? You lie!
It's like, hey, what should we do with the sequel?
Sorry.
It's like, but John Kramer, Jigsaw, he's dead. He's been dead for the last 4 movies. Let's make another one. It's been 7 years since the last one. That character died in the 3rd movie. What are you going to do now? I don't know. I don't care. I will be there.
Here's the thing.
When Saw Legacy comes out in...
October?
I'm sorry, they're calling it Jigsaw.
October, though.
In October, yeah. I'm happy because... one of my great joys was seeing a new Saw movie every October.
Year?
It was so good.
I went to the midnight showings. I believe... Okay, so I worked for 3 of the Saw movies. I worked in Louisville for the opera, and my friend James and I went to all of the midnight showings of Saw. Before that moment, you and I went to a Saw movie. Okay, I know this has nothing to do with Prequel, but this is actually a funny story.
Actually,
Brother and
Saw Prequel might not be a bad idea.
Yes. Brother and I believe it was a Saw movie that you and I went to. Maybe 2. Doesn't even matter.
There are actually enough flashbacks in all the Saw movies. You could probably make a prequel out of all the footage.
It's actually true, too. But we came out of the movie, and there's people talking about how gross they are. Like, gross. They're like, oh, maybe this wasn't Saw, but you'll remember the story. And Andy and I go... There was just not enough blood in that movie. And people were like, people, and Andy and I were very specific about there wasn't enough blood.
No,
and the arterial spray was not good. What was the...
It was The Ring, wasn't it? Because...
There's like no blood in The Ring, really.
Yeah, well, I think it was... I remember Mom and I, we saw Bram Stoker's
He's pointing
Dracula.
over there due to
Mom
the fact that Mom is over
yeah,
there.
You can't see her, but she is over there and she's waving.
I didn't even see why.
Mom and I saw...
We're seeing things.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola
Gary
one.
Oldman.
Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves. Wonderful performance, wonderful accent.
Great cinematography.
Yeah, yes, I'll give it that, and that's about it.
Okay.
And there's one great edit where they stake a vampire and immediately cuts to like a tray of roast beef or something. I'm like, that's a good cut. It's ripping off Action Jackson, but it's still a good cut.
Still a good cut.
Mom and I came out of that. There were reports in the newspaper, this was back before the internet, that there were test audiences in like California or somewhere that were vomiting because this movie was just so over the top, gory and violent and gross. And Mom and I saw the film and we're like, has it since been edited? Why?
Oh, yeah.
And I remember The Ring, we went to see,
Yeah.
and people were like freaking out. They're, oh my god, it's the scariest movie. We watched and said, well, it was pretty funny when the horse freaked out and jumped off the back of the boat. Other than that, the movie kind of sucked.
Yeah.
We were like, alright, whatever. So.
We have discerning tastes.
So, my next horror prequel.
Yes.
Jaws.
Doesn't it start with, like, there's already a body on the beach?
Well, Chrissy, from whatever her name is, she goes naked skinny dipping and gets eaten, and then she washes up on the beach later. But you always wonder, why is that shark there?
Genetically predisposed to liking human flesh.
Why is it so mean? Why has it got a taste for human flesh? And I think a backstory going into Jaws and his family, perhaps, could flesh out the character of the shark so we understand its motivations better and can more thoroughly enjoy an already perfect film.
Oh, it's a perfect film.
Yes. So, were the Amity Island oceans overfished, and Jaws was just trying to feed his family, and the kids and starved to death, and his wife left him because there was no damn fish, so he got pissed at the humans and started eating dogs and kids and then naked skinny dippers? Could be.
That's funny.
Now, if you didn't want to do that, there's something else that you could do. You could just go way out on left field. I'm going to think outside the box right here. Here's the box. I'm going to think right over here. Remember in the movie where they know the shark's there and people are running out in their little rowboats and dumping chum all over the place trying to get the shark, and they end up fishing out a big tiger shark.
Yes.
And they think, oh, that must be it. That must be it. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's a man-eater. It's rare for these waters.
Yeah.
But its bite radius is too small. This couldn't be the shark. Let's cut it open and see if the Kittner boy is in there.
People come out.
So, I think, because during that little so-called half-assed autopsy scene, they find a license plate, a Louisiana license plate, and he says, that's just what I thought. He came up from the Gulf. And it's like, I think a prequel...
I like this.
I think a prequel could cover the journey, the adventure of this tiger shark.
I like that.
From the Gulf near Louisiana all the way up to Massachusetts, wherever... I'm guessing... Well, that's where Martha's Vineyard is. I'm guessing...
It was shot at Martha's Vineyard.
Right, but it's Amity Island in the film. I'm guessing it's supposed to be the same place, Massachusetts area. I mean, Brody's a New York cop who retired there, so I imagine it's somewhere on that East Coast. So, and maybe it could be a tragic adventure because maybe the tiger shark swallowed that license plate, saving a family trapped in a car that had driven into the ocean, and it's like, I'll rescue you, little humans trapped in this sinking tin
Oh my gosh,
can.
what if he was actually like trying to fight off Bruce, and then they killed him, and he was like...
He was the only thing standing in the way between Amity and Jaws. Yes.
Write this down.
Tiger Shark was there for you, Amity. Tiger Shark had your back.
Freaking A. I like that. I like that. I can't beat that. Thank you, Internet. Have a good day. Like, that was really good. No, I like that one.
But you blew your only protection against the Jaws.
Because that's what humans do.
Shame on you, humans.
As
you
we
reap
try,
what you sow.
We do. We do. Absolutely.
All right.
Okay. Unnecessary prequel, and this is a good one. You're going to like this one.
No, it's great.
It's really good. You don't have to leave.
I actually got an eye roll out of him. I was just like, oh god.
Good lord.
Hey folks, hope you enjoyed part 1 of our Unnecessary Prequels video. Part 2 will be posted next week. But, if you support me on Patreon, you can watch it right now. Clicky clicky.